Hello, teacher. Good morning. Sorry for I am late.
Hi, Flor. Good morning. No worries. Um, so let's see the last two tips that I have for you to improve your listening. Let's start. All right. Okay. So let's start. Before we see, well, the last tip was now we have to listen for language choices, so we know what is appropriate to use. So now let's see this next one. We have to listen for phrases and chunks. What it means this? What is this? Let's take a look. Okay, so we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention to the other person vocabulary related with phrases and chunks. What is chunk? Let's take a look. Chunks indicate language that is consistently surrounded by other specific words to create natural sounding phrases. So it's a combination of many words. But for what? To create a natural sounding. So for example, if I ask you, how are you? How are you doing, Flor?
I'm fine.
Okay, so that's a very straight answer, right? I'm fine. We can add some other specific words to sound a little bit more natural, not like if we were having just a regular conversation with anyone, like your best friend or a coworker, your parents, etc. So let me go to the next one. All right. So usually when we don't speak like English as our first English, as our first language, sometimes it's hard for us because we sound unnatural, right? Because we learn to put words together, right? We learn to put some words together, but they don't always flow together in English. They might sound, sometimes they doesn't sound correct together. Sometimes there is missing some words, or it just sounds maybe too straight, or it sounds a little bit rude, or maybe it sounds that we are not interested. So how do we do that? How do we sound like an English um, speaker? Let's take a look. We need to learn not these phrases and chunks. Let's take it. Okay. So these chunks are phrases, are long phrases that are about 3 or 4 words long. And they usually, we see this in different or in similar contexts and situations. The people usually repeats them all over and over again because they sound natural, right? So what is this? No? What are chunks? No, are phrases that are about 3 or 4 words long. So the only way that we can learn this is maybe listening to the language in different situations and in different contexts. So we are going to learn how to use them. So let's see. When we recognize this, then we are going to learn how to speak confidently, and we're going to sound more like a native speaker. So we're going to see some examples in a second. So let me show you some examples. Can you see my screen? The page I'm sharing?
No, I see the presentation.
Oh, okay. What about now?
Yes, no, yes.
Okay. Okay, great. So these are examples of chunks. So you're probably seen some of these before. But a very common one, maybe don't worry. I don't know. Well done. Things that we learn, right? After we repeat it over and over again. Bye-bye. There you are. This is not a very common chunk we use. There you are, no? To say maybe that you find someone. Ready, steady is also very used. Look like, no, it looks like, it's an expression. Looks like, blah, blah, blah. No? So as these, we can see many others. And these chunks help us to sound more natural. That's the point of using these chunks. As you can see, there are some that are more common than other ones, but the point here is to sound natural, no? Jumping up and down, for example, it means that someone walks a lot, that is moving all over, for example, not jumping up and down. So those are chunks. We learn this usually in natural context. For example, if you were living in another country for a little while, or maybe if you watch shows related with this, or movies, and you see people in natural situations, you're going to start recognizing these chunks, which are not 2-3 words phrases that sound like you're natural, right? So any questions here, Fleur?
No, teacher.
All right. So basically what it's saying this is that repeating these chunks are going to make us to sound more like a native speaker because they use it all the time, right? And we do, it's the same in Spanish. No? We also have some chunks that we use a lot, and that's all right. So let's see the next one. This will be the last one. Listen for transitions and expressions. When we were working on the writing, we've seen a lot of transitions. No? Can you remember an example of a transition word? Or linking word?
Then.
Then, okay. What else?
After that.
All right. Finally, etc. No? There are many transition words. So these transitions and expressions are especially important because they promote interaction between the content you're trying to say, because you're connecting the ideas, and in that case, the the main point is that the other person understands or is interested in what you're mentioning or you're talking about. So when we use them, we help the other person to understand us better. When we use these transitions, we help the listener to understand, not what we want to say. And native speakers uses a lot of transitions. They use them all the time. They use many different ones. Maybe some that are shorter, such as prepositions like and to, and etc., which are short, and they also use transitions with are sometimes are longer. No, to start with, secondly, etc., no, which will sound a little bit more academic, right? But it's important that we use them. It doesn't matter which type of transitions do we use, but it's important that we use them to what or what? To connect ideas. No, that's the main point of transitions, no? To connect ideas with certain expressions, whatever we're talking about. No? So it's very, very important because native speakers use them all the time. And sometimes could be transitions, maybe short, and sometimes they can be long phrases that can have like a very clear meaning to a native speaker. So for example, to start with, sorry, this is tough, no, but to start with, we know that we're starting, we're going to express or describe something, right? Or it could be to begin with, no, it's a longer phrase. Or, I don't know, summarizing this idea, blah, blah, blah. These phrases help us to deliver our message to the listener, right? Which is the main point of the conversation. So the next one, we have to listen for this specific type of expressions, no? Because what we want to do is to, at the same time as maybe a native is going to use time transitions to help us understand their message, we have to try to do the same, no? Because having a conversation, the main point is to interact with other person, no? Maybe to deliver a message. No, we want to let them know something. So why? Because that's an interaction, right? And we need these transitions to deliver this message. No, it's important. And when you realize, especially when you are in natural situations or you listen to conversations, you're going to recognize that English natives have a lot of this type of transitions and expressions. And that's why they sound natural, because they use them all the time. They use these expressions, these transitions, to have conversations, no? To have conversations. And these expressions usually change over time. So they usually come maybe for younger generations. So for example, before it was very common to say, pick up or pick it up, no? The phone, for example, hang up. Hang up is like when you are on a call, no? And you want to end the conversation. So you say hang up. No, but this is not very used anymore. It sounds maybe was more common to use, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. People still understand this, but it's not as used anymore. No, hang up when you want to end a conversation. No, colgar. Or he hung up on me, etc. So these type of phrases usually change, and they are also sometimes related with phrasal verbs. Remember we've seen this before. Phrasal verbs such as, I don't know, give up, got off, etc. No, and that's how also English language, English natives create these phrases, no? Through or expressions, through the combination of different words. No, they are usually phrasal verbs. Not always. They can, sometimes they can just be phrases, no? But sometimes they're phrasal verbs. So this will be the last tip, Flor, to help you to improve your listening. Any questions? Do you have any questions?
No, teacher.
All right, great. So let's practice, okay? I have some listening exercises. And let me share my screen. All right. This is not very long. I mean, not very short. Sorry. Exercise. It's a little bit longer. However, we're going to listen about a mobile restaurant. It's an interview about a woman called Martha, who runs this type of different restaurant, who moves to different places. And so let's listen to the, well, sorry, I'll share it with you. No, it's better for you. You listen to the audio one time, and then I'm going to ask you questions, okay? I'm going to ask you some questions about what's the general idea, not the main idea. I would like to know if it's a formal or casual, formal or informal. If it's a formal or informal context. No, I'm going to ask some things related with what we've seen. So the first time, no, the overall idea. Then I would like to know if it's a formal or informal situation. What tone of voice does she have? What else? That's so far. All right, sir. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and then we'll listen to the audio one more time, and then we will try to answer the questions. Okay, that's actually the mobile restaurant.
Okay.
All right, let's start. Could you share your screen, please? Thank you. Excellent. Let's start the audio. It's on next to the that. Yes. Great. All right, good. So, um, what was the audio about, please?
It was about the mobile restaurants Marta
Yes,
and how it was her experience with this restaurant.
excellent. Okay. Um, let's see. Did it have formal or informal style?
I think informal
Why?
because she explained many things
Mm-hmm.
and I don't hear the formal words
Mm-hmm.
like the connector, for example,
Mhm.
um, but I hear that he describes a lot of information
Yeah.
in a fast way.
Yes. Yes, you're correct. So it's more like a conversation, no?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So what tone of voice do you think she had? How do you think she feels?
I hear her enthusiast, enthusiast,
Enthusiastic, yes.
enthusiastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because she is exciting about her restaurant.
Yes, yes, because it apparently something new for her, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now let's start answering the questions. So let's start maybe with number one. Um, maybe we can read the question and which of the options do you think is correct?
Okay. What did Marta dislike about her first job? It was really badly paid. The boss didn't listen to her. She found the staff unfriendly.
Mhm.
The option B, the
Okay,
boss didn't listen to her.
that's correct. Great. All right, let's take a look to number two, please.
And number two, at first, what did Marta find most surprising about mobile restaurants?
Mhm.
They are only advertised online. Food never gets thrown away. Menus can be easily changed.
Mhm. So what do you think? What's the correct answer?
C, menus can be easily changed.
No, that's actually not correct. What other option do you think it's correct?
Mm,
Do
the
you,
option B,
um, eh, yes, but I don't think that was what she found like most surprising about mobile restaurants. She mentions that, but I don't think she described it as something surprising.
mm,
What option would be?
the option A.
Uh-huh. Remember she was saying that um, she would just take reservations online because and she could even cook at home, no? And then she can just take it there, and in that way, then people will sorry, food will not get away. But the most surprising or interesting thing was that no that you get reservations online.
Okay.
All right, number three.
For Marta, the best thing about mobile restaurant was knowing she would have customers, being able to work outdoors,
Mhm.
finding that waiters weren't needed.
Yes. So what do you think? It's the correct answer.
C, finding that waiters weren't needed.
Yes, yes, correct. Because she could have that, no? She could do that. And she also mentions that um, she will always have 10 people, no? No more than 10 people. All right, great. Number 4, please.
Martha had difficulty serving food on a beach because of the sun, the rain, the wind.
Mhm. So what
The,
option?
the rain,
No, that's not correct.
because they mention an umbrella. So the sun,
No.
no.
Yeah. It said that it was windy. No, it has too much wind. That's fine. No worries. All right. Number 5, please.
Martha tries to avoid serving meals in her home because she doesn't have enough furniture. The
Mhm.
neighbors have complained there is a lack of space.
Mhm. So what
The
option?
neighbors, the neighbors had complained.
No, that's not correct. She was talking about the size of her apartment. The size, like,
There is a lack of space.
yes, because her apartment is not too big, no? And number 6, please.
What worries Martha about the future?
Uh-huh.
Mobile restaurants going out of fashion. The wrong people opening restaurants like hers. Health inspection coming to her restaurant.
Mm-hmm. So what option do you think is correct?
C. Health inspection coming to her restaurant.
Mm, no, that's not correct. I think she was talking about competition in the future. That was worrying her.
The wrong people opening restaurants like her.
Exactly, yes. Like there will be many restaurants like hers, no? But they wouldn't work as good as her. All right, maybe we can send the answers. All right, so excellent. Everything is correct. No? So let's see one last exercise. We might get a little bit more academic information here, but in a very informal situation. All right, the next one is going to be about um, a person, Colleen, who makes online videos, but with about environmental issues. So, did you get the link? It's on the chat, I think. Yes, it's on the chat. It's called environmental video PET. PET.
Okay.
Okay. Could you share your screen, maybe? That. Okay, great. So let's listen. This audio is shorter. All right, let's start, please. All right. All right, so
You now have 6 minutes to check and copy your answers onto the answer sheet.
what was the audio about? And what type of communication use, formal or informal?
The audio, it was about how she created an environment video and how this video become popular on internet.
Yes, excellent, yes. And what type of vocabulary or what type of words did you use? Was formal or informal?
For me, it was more formal
Okay, why?
because she summarized the answers
Yes.
and
Yes.
she used words like I heard phrasal verbs
Yes.
and some connectors.
Yes, that's correct. She was giving an information, no? So that's when we sound a little bit more formal. Excellent. Okay, now let's answer the questions, please. You were answering number 1, no? What option did you choose? It says, how did Lynn learn how to start putting videos online?
She asked someone she knew.
All right. Number 2.
Why did Lynn choose to focus on the environment? C, she been interested in it for a long time.
Excellent. Yes, that's correct. Number 3.
How did Lynn feel when her online videos first become successful?
Mhm.
8, surprised it happened so quickly.
Excellent. Yes, that's also correct. What about number 4?
Lynn says that to become successful, people should put videos online once a week.
Yes. Once a week. Excellent. Number 5.
Lynn's latest video is about recycling.
All right. That's actually not correct. What do you think? It was other different.
Public transport.
Yes. Public transport. And number 6.
Why does Lynn think it's important for her to try new things?
Why?
To create discussion about the topic.
No, that's not correct.
So B, to learn more about the subject.
Yes, that's also correct. All right, let's finish. I think number 1 is not correct. Yes, that wasn't the correct option. So what do you think it was the correct one for number 1? How did she learn how to start putting online videos?
She used information online.
All right. No, actually, she did a short course. She did a really short course, and that's how she learned how to put the videos online. All right, Flor. So today it was our last class. Let me check. Please don't forget to finish all the audios.
Yes, I missed 4 audios, the last 4 audios.
All right. Maybe you can finish today, and then I can send your grades maybe tomorrow morning. And that will be it, Flor. Thank you very much. It was nice having classes with you, and I will run the last polls, which has 4 questions. And that will be it. All right, great. Thank you very much, Flor. Have a great day, and well, we won't have classes anymore, no? But have a great day, and if you need anything, please don't hesitate in asking.
Okay, thank you, teacher, for all the classes.
You too, Flor. It was nice meeting you. Have a great day, Flor. See you soon.
See you. Bye.
Bye, Flor.